I thought Dwayne Wade had retired, but apparently this D Wade 2.0. His name is Donovan Mitchell, ladies and gentlemen. The brother's a star. We're going to talk about that. Plus, Doc Rivers had something to say about basketball fans out there questioning Ben Simmons. I wonder why that is. Does Ben Simmons hold the fate of the Philadelphia 76ers in the palm of his hands? We'll talk about that and more. Cruise in the house. Let's go.
You just got to be tough. When the winner go home, ain't really too much to talk about.
Joel Embiid, and indeed, Joel got the worst of it.
Obviously, you don't really want to prepare for it. We do have to be better in those moments.
I did not quit, I got an iron will. I did not quit.
The final dunk by Westbrook. Beal to the corner, Hachimura got it.
We dropped the ball on this one, but we'll recoup, get back together, and get it on.
Good day. What's going on, everybody? Welcome into First Take on a Tuesday. Thank you for being with us. Max Kellerman, Stephen A. Smith. I'm Molly Karen Rose. Stephen A. I look like we're ready to go walk a red carpet together. We're going with the light colors.
Not me, but you are.
But no events today. That hasn't happened yet. Guys, let's get into the games last night. Stephen A. alluded to it. The Philadelphia 76ers deal with 2 losses, dropping their first game to the Washington Wizards in this series, now down 3-1 and losing Joel Embiid, who left with right knee soreness, did not return. His other superstar counterpart, Ben Simmons, really didn't pick up the slack. Here's Sixers head coach Doc Rivers on Simmons.
Doc, is there anything that you can do coaching-wise? Does the thought cross your head at all to take him out of the game there?
No.
Why not?
You want me to take Ben Simmons off the floor?
No, I mean, I got to ask the question.
I will pass on that one. He's pretty good, so I'll pass on that suggestion. I didn't think he was scared of the moment. He just didn't make them. So, again, with Ben, we're going to keep him on the floor. Unless you guys want us to bench him the whole game. If anybody wants us to do that, just let me know. And then I'll know you don't know basketball. Ben is not a 40-point guy. It's not what he does. He does other things for your team.
All right, we'll get to that in a second. Let's focus in on Ben Simmons here. Through 4 games this postseason, he's shooting just 25% from the free throw line. That mark is the worst such mark in NBA playoff history, even worse than Wilt and Shaq. Stephen A., do you agree or disagree with Doc Rivers on Ben Simmons?
Well, I agree with Doc Rivers if you're talking about benching Ben Simmons. Then you're right. You don't know basketball. You don't bench a Ben Simmons. But where I disagree with Doc Rivers, and we've been on this show, I've interviewed him, I've known Doc Rivers, love him to death, the whole bit. He doesn't embrace the level of importance about Ben Simmons shooting as I do. I believe that Ben Simmons is a jump shot away from being LeBron James. That's how great I think Ben Simmons can be. His only impediment is his inability to shoot the basketball. But as I told Doc Rivers to his face, as I told Doc Rivers in interviews, as I'll tell Doc Rivers on these cameras right now, to minimize the importance of that, no, we're not flowing with that. Ben Simmons is the reason why when Max started off the season and you were talking about Philly, I like, nah. Ben Simmons, to me, is going to cost the Philadelphia 76ers a title. All because he has no shooting ability. And if you're a guy, you're the Shaquille O'Neals of the world or others where you require participation, where somebody's giving you the basketball, okay, that's a bit different. When you are the primary ball handler, when you run the offense, when you're the point guard and you are no threat from the perimeter at all, to the point where you don't even attempt shots from the perimeter, that's a problem. And I'll close by saying this, Max, because he's shooting 61% from the free throw line. Okay, he doesn't shoot perimeter shots. He doesn't shoot threes, and he's shooting 61% from the free throw line during the regular season and 25% in the playoffs from the free throw line. There was a game against Portland this year, and I really wish I had that clip. I didn't call for it. That's my bad. Carmelo Anthony is guarding Ben Simmons when Ben Simmons comes past half court. And it was like he had a brain fart. And he said, what the hell am I doing? And sprinted back all the way into the paint because he knew Ben Simmons would not even attempt a jump shot. You can't do that and beat these Brooklyn Nets.
There's a difference between not being able to shoot like Rondo back in the day or Giannis now and having like a comically bad, like completely unable to score from more than like 6 feet from the basket. That's Ben Simmons. That might stop you from winning a championship if he's the best player on your team or even maybe the second best player on your team. But you can win with Ben Simmons. You can get by this series without Embiid.
Sure.
The question is, do they, like, you can build a powerhouse team around Ben Simmons, play 5 out or 4 out, like with Simmons either in the dunker spot or Simmons at point guard, right? If he's at point guard, it's 5 out because he's coming into the paint. You're either going to have to double him, someone's open, he's going to find the open man. That's why he has the most assists on 3-pointers since he entered the league, Ben Simmons. Or if you don't think he's gonna yam it, I mean, he's gonna get to the rim and he's gonna dunk it, right? So you can build a team around Ben Simmons like that, but that's not how they built this team. That's not how they've been practicing with this team. But the question is, if they can get by the Wizards, especially up 3-1 without Embiid, yes, they can, and I believe they will, even without Embiid, even with Doc Rivers' record of, up 3-1 and then not only not being able to close out, but losing the series. Yeah, they can win without Embiid because Simmons is that kind of player. And Stephen A., when you talk about he's a jump shot away from being LeBron, right. In other words, he's a jump shot away from being one of the greatest players who ever lived. He does everything else.
Correct.
He has Magic Johnson level court vision and passing. He has better handles than LeBron. He's 6'10". Like when you see the list of guys who can't shoot free throws in the playoffs, they're all 7-footers, and Simmons is he's 6'10". He is a great defender. For my money, the best defender in basketball because he can actually defend at an elite level, 5 positions. So you can absolutely win with him. You can beat this Wizards team with him. Whether or not you can win a championship with him, particularly when this hasn't really been his team, it's been Embiid's team, is a separate question.
Well, let me say this to you. Congratulations to you, because you annoyed me already, and we 5 minutes into the show. And here's why you annoyed me. Who the hell said they can't beat the Wizards with Ben Simmons being who he is? Who said that?
They're playing
Come on,
now.
you know good and damn well. The conversation is about the 76ers and your championship aspirations. Ain't nobody questioning whether or not they can beat the Wizards. Matter of fact, it would be of all the struggles that Doc Rivers has had in recent memory in the playoffs, there will be nothing more damning if they lost this series without Joel Embiid. You can't lose to this team because we know that the Philadelphia 76ers are considerably better. No disrespect to Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal, who are studs. What I'm saying to you is that we all know this. What we're talking about here is the big picture as it pertains to the Philadelphia 76ers championship aspirations. And with all due respect to my brother, who I love dearly, Doc Rivers, here's the deal. People have to embrace and accept this reality because you see narratives in the world of sports where people are trying to, you could play better than us. You could play better than some of your contemporaries. What we do at the beginning of the season is measure what the expectations are. And I'm speaking on behalf of you, Max, not separate and apart from you. I'm speaking on behalf of us. You measure what your expectations were coming to the season. How many times have we talked about the Orlando Magic this year? Yeah. How many times have we talked about Sacramento Kings this year? How many times have we talked about the Minnesota Timberwolves
But take the best player off any team, the expectations change.
I'm just simply saying we, as analysts, walk into every season looking at what your expectations were. These are championship expectations for these Philadelphia 76ers. We're talking title. They believe they can win the chip. Well, there's several people who picked them to win the chip.
What do you
Not
want
everybody.
Doc Rivers to say at the press conference? We're toast. We don't have Embiid.
No.
But Stephen A., everything you're saying, if you take the best player off of any team, you have to rearrange your expectations.
But what I'm saying to you is that the public, the press that's asking Doc Rivers those questions, he knows good and damn well they're not asking them about the Wizards.
Right, but let's
look
at what they have.
Championship expectations.
Look, as I said, take the best player off of any team in the league. You don't expect them to win the championship. Any team in the league, take the best player off. If you thought they were going to win the championship, you don't think that anymore, right? Take KD off the Nets, take LeBron off the Lakers, take anyone off of any team, take Embiid off the Sixers, same thing. But let's look at what the Sixers, so we're not talking championship anymore if there's no Embiid. The question is, are they still a powerhouse? Can they win playoff series, compete in the next one, maybe win the next one? Look at what they have without Embiid.
Right.
Without Embiid. Right. Ben Simmons, the Bucks built a team around Giannis this way.
Right.
But Ben Simmons is similar size to Giannis. better handles, an even better passer, better court vision, but shoots it even worse. But look what they have around. Danny Green can 3 and D.
Danny Green,
Seth Curry can shoot the lights out.
yes, he can.
Thibault is an elite defender already.
Right.
You got guys, Tobias Harris
Max.
can ball. I mean, you got guys on that